Ladies and gentlemen, the king has returned. Maybe. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Movie Talk. And Christopher Nolan has a new film that's rumored to be setting out in July of 2026. Now, this is just a rumor, so nothing's actually confirmed, but there's a good chance that this actually is real. Let's go back to Interstellar, which came out in 2014, and then Dunkirk, which came out in 2017, and then Tenet, 2020, and then Oppenheimer, which is 2023. What's the similarity that you can see between all those release dates? 3 years apart. Now, it's most likely that 2026 is going to bring us another Christopher Nolan film. I wouldn't be shocked at all. I'm willing to bet that that's what's going to happen. And so when I saw this rumor that 2026 was going to be the release date, I was not surprised at all. Now, we don't know what the actual movie is going to be about. We won't really know until we see it in theaters, but what could it be about? There are a couple of likely options that I'd like to talk about. Before we get to that, if you enjoyed the video so far, like and subscribe and share the video. And yeah, just help me out a little bit. Just do a bunch of content like this, bunch of different variety of videos. But yeah, that's just I just wanted to say that. Now, what could this movie actually be? I'd say there are five options. There's five likely options as to what this is going to be. It's either going to be another sci-fi movie, which he's been going back and forth between all his movies from sci-fi to historical, then sci-fi historical, etc. And so Oppenheimer was not a sci-fi movie, in case you couldn't tell. And so chances are, if he's going to do something original, it could probably end up being a sci-fi film. However, there is also the likelihood of it being a James Bond movie. I know that Christopher Nolan would be a perfect fit for a director for a James Bond movie. However, I just don't think that it's going to work out. I get it'll be the first film of the franchise for it, and he could do what he did with The Dark Knight and do like a trilogy or something of James Bond movies. However, Nolan likes to have a lot of control over his movies, and the Broccoli family, the people that actually own James Bond, like to have a lot of control over James Bond, and so I just don't see a reality where it works out. I'd love to see a James Bond movie made by Nolan. I just don't see it actually happening. Another option would be The Prisoner, which, in case you didn't know what it is, it was this show from the 60s from the UK. And he was, a while ago, he was trying to write a film adaptation. Like, a studio came to hire him to write a film and direct it. But I don't know if I really like this option. He could very well be doing this, but I don't like the idea of him adapting something. What makes him so good is that you see these original stories. Granted, Oppenheimer is based off a true story, same with Dunkirk, but still, I love seeing these original stories getting big budgets and just being able to be made. And I don't want to see him adapt a show. I don't want to see him use another person's idea and create it into his own. I'm sure it can still end up being good, but I don't want to see it. It could also be a horror movie, which Nolan has been saying for a long, long time that he wants to make a horror movie, and I can very well see it. His style would work so intensely well. He could make a seriously creepy horror movie. I can see it happening. I worry that he's probably not going to go down that route, because if he's going to come up with a horror movie, it's going to be for a really unique concept. And I have a feeling that's just something that he's going to be waiting years and years and years before he eventually tries to do a horror movie. And again, it's probably one of the more likely options, but who knows really? It could be anything. Speaking of which, that's what number 5 is. just some movie that we just have no idea about. Maybe it's some action movie or mystery or crime film. We don't really know. It's very likely that it could be any of these options, and I really don't know which one is the most likely. I mean, again, we're gonna have to wait until an actual announcement comes out for the movie, and actually like Variety and Hollywood and all of them start announcing that this movie is really happening, because again, this is a rumor, but it's very likely to be true. There is currently a bidding war that's going on between the studios, and so I don't think we're gonna get an official announcement until one of the studios eventually gets it, because it's going down between Warner Brothers, Universal, and Paramount. And I feel like once one of those studios acquires the film, chances are it's going to be Universal. Then I think that we're going to officially get the announcement then. But that's probably going to be a little while from now. I mean, it could be anywhere between like a few weeks to maybe a few months. But I'd say by March of 2025, we will get the announcement. I can pretty much promise you that. There's no way that if the movie's coming out in July of 2026, then there's no way that they're not going to announce what's going to happen, like announce it a pretty decent bit out, especially because if it's a big budget movie, then it's going to cost a lot of money and a lot of time to eventually make it. But I mean, what do you think of the whole situation? I mean, you're excited about another Nolan movie? I mean, do you hate him? Do you love him? Tell me what your thoughts are. And I mean, if you like the video, like and subscribe, share it if you want, comment down below, just all your thoughts. And yeah, that's really off to say. I mean, again, this is just a rumor, but this is one of those rumors that are most likely to be true. And with that being said, that's really off to say. So that's movie talk. See ya.